Hey, what's up? Wix here again. Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we are installing the Perrin pitch stop mount support. Let's go. Alright, so I did some work last time on the pitch stop support brace because it had cracked. I've never done MIG welding before, but I gave it a go and it looks like complete crap. So I've decided to buy a brace for it, which Perrin make. So that's what I'm going to be trying to install today. When you install this kit, one of the things you have to do is you've got to remove this factory bracket that holds the clutch line. So it goes from here on this particular model. This brace here usually bolts into there and then straight into the master cylinder. But that's where the brace is going to go, so you need to delete this. So that's what I've done. So I've taken that off, and now we'll go have a look at the kit. Alright, so this is the kit here. There's two braces that sit either side of your factory mount, pretty much like that. Now the only tricky thing about this is, I'm not sure why, but Perrin only make a left-hand drive brace support or mount support. They don't make one for a right-hand drive. So the only thing that's different on the left-hand drive is the clutch reservoir, or this part here, usually sits over here. And you've usually got two bolts there. Bolts much like that one, the factory bolts that stick out of the wall, or actually just like those there. They're usually on this side and the brace slips onto those two, and that's how it bolts up. But I'm not sure why they don't make a brace for the right-hand drive, for a right-hand drive car. I tried to weld this and not buy the brace, but I had a look at the brace, and just because of my not so flash welding, it would be really good if I had a brace. So after looking at it, I'm pretty sure I can still make it work. So let me grab half of it. This is the left side. So I'm pretty sure this is going to bolt up on the left side. So these two holes here, I think one of the holes was for, yep, it's just to hold one of the engine or the gearbox harness. You pull that out. I'm going to need to put some rib nuts in there, which comes with the kit, so that's pretty good, and a couple of M6 bolts. So those holes line up, and the hole also lines up with the main big bolt that goes through. So that brace is good, and then it's just the other half, which is the right side. This is the one that's a little bit tricky. As you can see, it's got that U-shape design there, and that was for the clutch reservoir. But I reckon I can still make it work. I'll just move this wire. Alright, so I'm going to have to do a couple of modifications, but this hole here still lines up, which is an M8 bolt. This one where my thumb is. Still lines up with the big bolt that goes through the center, and then we're left with two gaps there, and there's a bit of a space between the bracket and the firewall. So this is my plan, and it's the only plan I've got, and I'm going to give it a go, try and make it work. So this thing here was a stud like that one. I think they're designed just to hold these little plastic nuts there. So I've broken that off because it was in the way. I've put a couple of lines in here just to get a center point. I'm going to drill two holes there. I'm hoping it's this one I'm worried about because it's a bit close to this. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to drill a hole there, put some rib nuts in there, And now I've got some longer M8 bolts. So usually as the kit I would have bolts protruding through this and I would just put nuts on it, but because I'm going the other way, I've ended up buying a couple of M8 bolts. Hopefully these are long enough, and if they're too long I'll just cut them with the grinder. A couple of washers, and then I've got these as well, which I'm going to use as spacers. It's not the best sort of spacer, but I'll use them for now. It was the quickest thing I could find off the shelf, and that's my plan. If I can get that to work, I'm a very happy man. So what I'm going to do first is I might bolt this side up first. So that includes just putting some riv nuts in there and getting it ready to bolt up. Once those riv nuts are in, I will bolt that brace in and that side will be done. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so this little handle thing comes with the kit. It's what they use as their riv nut flare tool. What you do is you put a bolt on that they supply. There's a washer under there. You put your tool in between and then your riv nut on the back. And from what I've read, you insert that into the hole, and as you do the bolt up, it'll flare the behind, much like what the tool does when you squeeze the handles together. So I've got a flaring tool, but I just want to see how this works, so I'll go ahead and try and do that. Alright, that worked pretty good. Very happy with that. I will do the next one. Alright, so that's pretty much the left hand side done. So the good news about this is that even though it's a left hand drive kit, that part still bolts up straight away, just like you would as if this car was a left hand drive. So that's good. That's that half. I think because my brackets are out of whack a little bit, it's kind of hard for, this is the bolt that they supply, so it's a little longer to allow for the thickness of the brackets on either side. I think because my braces are out of whack because they cracked, I think I'll still get the bolt through. Just might be a bit of a play around. That should be fine. Alright, so the part I'm the most nervous about, getting this right side on. So I've put some black marks up there to give me a center. I'm going to find my center, drill out some holes big enough to receive a M8 rivet nut. And then once I've done that, I need to figure out the spacing, and I'll put some bolts through it, bolt this up, and hopefully Bob's your uncle. Alright, so some success, holes lined up, which is good. Let's do a checklist. That bolt goes through, that bolt's bolted in, those two holes that I made, those holes lined up. All I need to do now is sort out the spacers in the back there, and I'm pretty sure that that would be all done, because I can't push it all the way back, or can I? yeah, I can't quite push it all the way back. So I'll figure out some sort of spaces at the back there, but otherwise I made this left-hand drive fit a right-hand drive car. Let me sort out some spaces, bolt this thing up properly. I've got a new pitch stop to put in as well. I'll make sure that fits, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright, so I've ended up cutting my bolts. They were way too long, so I've cut those bolts. They're ready to go, and I've got these little spaces here. They're about 8mm spaces roughly. I've just done it a rough job with the hand grinder. They should do though. One's slightly thicker. I think I'll put that on the outside. It's got a slightly bigger gap. So those are all ready to go. So what I'll do now is I'll go grab the new pitch stop itself and install that, and then I'll bolt this all up, and then we're all done. Alright, so this looks really nice. This is the new pitch stop from Perrin as well. Perrin brace, Perrin pitch stop. So just put a bit of grease that it comes with. Hopefully that'll slide in real good. I'm a little bit nervous because, like I said, that factory brace is a little bit out of whack, but I need to jam that in there. So I'll get that in, and then I will bolt the other half on and bolt it all up. Let's see how we go. So just before I install the right side brace on, that's what it looks like. So remember, that's the factory hole where the mount was for the factory clutch line, and these are the two new riv nuts that I've inserted. So that's what it looks like behind the scenes. As you can see, it went on that little factory bolt stud, but it seems to be alright. I'll just have to be a little bit careful when I do the bolt up. But anyway, let's try and get this pitch stop in. Alright, so that's all bolted up now and everything's pretty smick. I was a little bit worried about the pitch stop. Wasn't really going in, but it is in. It's all bolted up. Braces are pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with my little spaces. I'm very happy today. I needed it, and I was a bit concerned they don't make it for a right hand drive, but I figured it out and I made it fit. Very nice pitch stop in the anodized red as well. Very happy. So the last part was the clutch line. So I've got the new line here. I've just got it sitting in there for now. Just got a new steel braided line made up with a new banjo. So that'll just sit on the clutch master cylinder when I get the gearbox back in. Otherwise, that's the install complete. So I'm stoked. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that episode of installing the mount support that wasn't made for a right-hand drive car. Very happy I figured it out. Not sure what I'll do in the next episode, but there's plenty more work to do. I'm a little shattered. It's pretty warm here in Perth. So that's me for today. And we'll catch you in the next episode. Ciao!